Warning, don't draft Victor Wembanyama. This is a PSA to all teams who might get the #1 overall pick in the lottery. You might want to think twice. Now, we're not saying that Wembanyama isn't a good player. He's one of the best draft prospects of all time with a skill set that shouldn't humanly make sense. Wemby very well could be a star right out of the gates, but the one problem is how often he'd be able to be on the court. He hasn't even gotten to the NBA yet, and he's got quite a history with injuries. He's missed half a season and playoffs thanks to an unspecified muscular injury. He's missed several months due to fractured fingers, bone contusions in his shoulder, fibula stretch fractures, and most recently, a back muscle injury that ended his season early in 2022. It's gotten so bad, some fans have been begging his French team to just sit him out until he gets drafted. If his injuries keep up, there's one elite center Wembanyama's career might start to look like: Yao Ming. Yao was hyped up as an NBA rookie, had some great moments, but had his career cut short. In fact, history hasn't been kind to lengthy centers who are over 7 feet tall. Injuries eventually wear down on their bodies, and while there's hope Wembanyama might be different, there's also the strong risk that he'll follow in his footsteps. And if you're still not fully convinced yet that whatever team drafts Wembanyama might regret it, just take a look at one of the most recent drafts, 2019, where the consensus #1 pick for months leading up to the draft was another prospect who was extremely hyped and had a skill set that shouldn't be possible: Zion Williamson. He also had an injury and fitness issues before getting to the league, and whenever Zion took the court for the Pelicans, he was dominant, but has already missed more than 60% of his games in his career. While the guy picked after him went on to become a real star of the draft class, an explosive and super athletic point guard who went on to become one of the most entertaining players in the league, and the guy who has been compared to this year's potential #2 pick, Scoot Henderson. That's right, the 2023 draft could just be the 2019 draft all over again. But let's be fair to Wemby for a second. After each injury, he's gotten right back out there and still dominated without ever losing a step, which is a big reason why he's been the favorite to go #1 for over a year now. And with this kind of talent, it's really easy to overlook the injury issues. But in the end, it's up in the air. If you have the #1 overall pick, would you want a player who's potentially changed your team's fortunes forever? Who would become a media magnet that could bank your city millions of dollars? But it comes with the risk of potentially missing nearly half of his games for a few seasons? Or do you want the safer bet with less upside, but could still easily become a franchise building block? If you pick right, you're a genius, but if you choose wrong, you'll hear about it for years to come.